So I just got my retail CD version of Quake 3 up and running on my computer. I had it packed away in a box somewhere and I've been looking for it for over a year. It was driving me crazy because I was really feeling the urge to indulge in the fun bot deathmatches the game offers. I was even tempted to just buy the game off of Steam, but considering I only paid $10 for the gold edition that came with the Team Arena expansion pack many years ago, paying $15 for the Steam version wasn't something I was willing to do just yet. I just decided that eventually I would find my disc. So what did I do in the meantime to get my Quake 3 fill? Well, I played Open Arena, of course. My family has, for the longest time, been big on using Linux. I remember around 2005 or 2006 they became Ubuntu users. I, however, was a Windows user on my computer because of gaming. I was playing around with Linux on their computer one day, seeing if any games were available, and I discovered Open Arena. When I played it for the first time, I remember thinking, wait a minute, this is Quake 3. I wasn't quite sure if it was legal at the time, but sure enough, Open Arena is a free Quake 3 reskin that came about when id Software released the Quake 3 engine under the GPL, or General Public License, which according to Wikipedia is a series of widely used free software licenses that guarantee end users the four freedoms: to run, study, share, and modify that software. What this means is Open Arena is essentially the exact same game as Quake 3 with reskinned characters, weapons, and different maps. It is also completely legal to download and play. Even the Quake 3 Arena ModDB page has free mods of Open Arena that you can download and play that contain the entire game. You can go to the official site to download the original version, or you can go to ModDB and get one of the modified versions. And the game doesn't just run on Linux alone, it runs on Windows and Mac OS. If you have never played Quake 3 but have always wanted to try it, or maybe you owned it back in the day and want to experience it again, Open Arena is an excellent way for newbies and old bees to experience the same fantastic gameplay and design of Quake 3. You can play it online. There are still plenty of servers, though a lot of them have bots in them. You can play it offline against bots and bot deathmatches, or you can play the single-player campaign, which is just bot deathmatches. If you were too young to have played Quake 3 but have heard of the old-timey legends of this game from we older gamers, download Open Arena first, and if you like it, buy Quake 3 or Quake Live off of Steam or GOG to get the original. If you're not familiar with Quake 3, in 1999, both Epic Mega Games and id Software were thinking the same thing. Quake, Quake 2, and Unreal all had in-depth single-player campaigns with insanely popular, fast, furious online deathmatch gameplay to boot. The online play was so popular, it seems as if both developers were like, why even bother with the single-player mode? Unreal already had bot deathmatches, so Epic took their already established formula and added new maps, new weapons, a single player that was just bot deathmatches to train you for multiplayer, an announcer, and releasing Unreal Tournament on November 30th, 1999. id Software designed a completely new game engine in the 2 years since Quake 2, created new maps, a few new weapons, programmed bot AI, added a single player that was just bot deathmatches to train you for multiplayer, and an announcer, releasing Quake 3 Arena just 2 days after Unreal Tournament on December 2nd, 1999. The Arena shooter was born. Both of these games are still amazing and epic to play to this day. If you've never played Quake 3, this is a fast-paced, frenetic shooter that is tons of chaotic fun. The sheer carnage, fast movement, and quick reflexes required make the game a blast to play offline or on. Think of something akin to the more arcadey feel of Halo, except 2 to 5 times faster in nature, and you have, well, a very poor idea of what Quake 3 is. Sad to say, Halo is the closest modern example I can think of off the top of my head that comes even similarly close to Quake. I remember showing footage of Quake 3 to someone on the GamePro forums during the 7th console gen. I remember his reply, "That game moves faster than I can think." I would say that's a pretty good description for the modern gamer who hasn't played any old school shooters online. They move faster than you can think. The game definitely has an incredibly steep learning curve and a lot of techniques to learn. They don't actually teach you these techniques in the game. These were discovered by the community in the years gone by. Things like the sideways jumping, rocket jumps, and other techniques that take advantage of the game engine's nuances and physics. Techniques forged in battle. When playing online, assuming you don't just end up in a bot server or playing freeze tag, but find an actual vanilla Quake 3 server, that is, the learning curve and disadvantages of not knowing the levels very well can be incredibly frustrating. While I rarely ever play Quake 3 online, enjoying the bot deathmatch more, if you tough through it, you will improve. The bot matches and single player also help you learn the maps better. Quake, and by proxy, Open Arena is a game where everyone starts out equally. You start with just a basic machine gun weapon, and all the other weapons, armor, life pickups, and power-ups like the quad damage are placed in predetermined places on the map. The spawn points are in various set places on the map as well, so once everyone spawns into the game, you are all on equal footing. You start with the same weapon and have the same chances to get more powerful weapons, armor, ammo, and power-ups, so long as you know where they are. There is absolutely no hand-holding in this game. No perks, no free kills, no loadouts. You either learn the maps and learn how to move and dodge, or you don't stand a chance. It's do or die in this game. It takes a lot of time to learn the basics in this game, let alone start to excel at them. You have to learn the maps forwards and backwards as well as the item placements before you even start to break even in this game. You have to learn the movement and aiming as well as what every weapon does, all while under fire. The railgun will probably be the longest weapon to perfect, but once you finally do, it becomes one of the most satisfying weapons to use in any game ever. When you finally get your first kill online, and believe me, it can take a while when playing against experienced players, you almost want to celebrate. Yes, Quake can be brutal to the uninitiated and doesn't give participation XP points like Call of Duty. This is a game you have to learn by sheer will alone. I am more experienced with Quake 2 in this matter, but even though I could barely muster a kill for the longest time, I still always had fun in the chaos. Just moving and shooting in the game while taking in the chaos around me was fun. Just make sure that if you are playing this online, you start playing servers that have multiple players at first. You don't want to get into a 1v1 match starting out. Even an experienced but average player will make short work of you, and you're not going to have a fun time getting completely dominated. Get into a server with the chaos so you have a chance to shoot at them while they're distracted with other players. Eventually you'll get your first railgun kill, and then you'll get pretty good at using the railgun and figure out the best weapon to use in each situation. It will click eventually. I worked my way up from barely being able to get a kill to being painfully mediocre at my best run. I did win a game once though, don't ask me how. If the online play sounds way too intimidating, that's where the bot deathmatches come in. You can make them as difficult or as easy as you want, and they are still wonderfully chaotic. I find them to be a lot more laid back and relaxing than when playing online against other players. For some reason, I get that adrenaline flowing whenever I play online. It's like doing something when other people are watching. With the bots, it's chaotic fun, but with a whole lot less pressure. You can make them incredibly easy to fight or insanely hard. Quake 3 is just classic fun, and Open Arena is too. Honestly, if you're a PC gamer, either of the younger generation who don't remember Quake 3, or maybe you weren't a PC gamer at the time, but you remember Quake 3, it's just one of those games I think every gamer should play at least once in their life. Even if you never take it online, bot deathmatches provide endless hours of fun. As for the changes in Open Arena, I do recognize a few of the maps from the original Quake, and even from Quake 3 itself, but slightly modified. I'm guessing as a move to keep lawyers from salivating over a direct copy. As for the full map set, I'm not sure which ones are borrowed and which ones are original to Open Arena. Both Quake 3 and Open Arena are incredibly fun to play. If you've never played Quake 3 but have always wanted to, download Open Arena. It's free and it works on Windows, Linux, and Mac OS. If you're a hardcore Quake 3 fan, download Open Arena. It's a change of pace and it's free. Not only is it free, but should run on even the oldest of rigs out there. You can run it on a potato, but probably not a pregnancy test. test. You might have to upgrade your rig if that's what you're currently running though. Also, if you already have Quake 3 either in physical form or from whatever download service, check out IO Quake 3. I know there are other source ports out there, but I have personally tested this one and it's solid. The only glitch I've come across so far has to do with the game not rendering some of the bot skins and just repeating my character skin on the bots. It also sometimes has trouble loading certain bots. In order to run IO Quake 3, you do need an original copy of the game, because unlike Open Arena, which is Quake 3 but not the same, it is a source port of the original Quake 3, so they can't give the game out for free with it. You have to buy it or already own it. I also found a mod for Open Arena called the Omega A mod, which also upgrades the graphics in Open Arena, and makes some changes like having your opponent shine green on the map so you can see them easier, but it also lowers the damage of the railgun, which I'm not a fan of doing. Other than that, the Omega A mod is still pretty good though, and it comes with the full game. You don't have to download the original Open Arena to play Omega A, because Open Arena is free to play, so they can put the entire original game within the mod. So in closing, Open Arena is free and legal. Go download it and enjoy. I mean, you can't complain about a game that is free 99. That is as high quality as Open Arena is. Also, if you can, get your hands on the original Quake 3 Arena, or from what I've read online, Quake Live seems more active online nowadays. Live was a free browser game at one point, but they eventually took it and started charging for the game. John Carmack and crew were always really good to their fans, releasing their engines as open source, which allowed the creation of things like Open Arena, and all the source ports. Modern id Software might be a completely different entity altogether nowadays, but you've gotta respect how old school id gave back to their fans. Exploring these source ports and free games that have come out of their open source engines is pretty awesome to do, and you've gotta respect Carmack and company for taking care of the fans whose dedication have made id's games the stuff of gaming legends. If you never knew about Open Arena, or knew about it but haven't played it, it's definitely worth playing. Thanks for watching, and links to downloads are in the description.
You are tired.